Now, you guys are probably already aware, but I don't play too much Blitz. It's honestly a format that doesn't really interest me. It's very high rolly, and I just don't play it a ton. Also, it doesn't really make it into the competitive scene a lot, so that's a big reason for me. But skirmish season is upon us, and I've had a few requests to do a deck tech on what I think Aurora would look like in Blitz and how she would handle the metagame. We all know that Aurora is a menace in CC, and being, 0 for 4's the deck makes you very powerful. I think that translates very, very well into the Blitz format. Now, I know that recently I did a deck talking about Terra and how good Terra is going to be, but I still think we have what it takes to combat all of the other aggro decks and all of the other mid-rangey or fatigue decks, because our deck is an absolute powerhouse. So today I've put together what I think Aurora is going to look like in Blitz and how you can win your next skirmish. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope you enjoy the video. Looking at our list, you'll notice that the first card that I'm going to talk about is immediately different. Balance of Justice is something that some people have really adopted in CC, but I think in Blitz it's almost necessary. Between Bloodrush Bellow and Art of War, I just think that Balance of Justice is exactly where we want to be. This card's very powerful. It blocks, it draws us cards, it does all of the good things that we want a headpiece to do. So having Balance of Justice in Blitz seems like an absolute no-brainer to me. We're also running Carapace, Grasp, and Snaps in this deck just because I think it's the best equipment we could be running. We could probably try to be on some kind of Blossom of Spring, combo-oriented thing, but I think that just playing the Aurora deck the way that I have it set up in CC is going to be good enough to win inside of Blitz as well. So we're running Carapace, Grasp, and Snapdragon Scalers because they all block, Snaps gives us Go Again, and it just seems really great. We have Starfall inside of this. I think the Go Again from the weapon is just too powerful. I mean, Starfall is just a great weapon. I was not very big on it at first, but I've really since come around to this. Starfall is absolutely amazing, and I just can't see a world where I'm ever not going to be playing it, to be honest with you guys. Taking a look at the deck, we have Arcanic Shockwave. Arcanic Shockwave is just a 0 for 5. It also blocks for 3. It does not have Go Again naturally, which can be a little bit of a problem, but I do really like Arcanic Shockwave. I think it's just an easy auto include. It does work well with some of our other instants, so that's really a big reason to be playing it. Burn Up and Shock is an absolute powerhouse of a card. This card is insane. If you're playing Aurora and you're not playing this card, I think it is 1,000,000,000% a mistake. This card forces people to block. You can chew through equipment really quickly. I like Burn Up and Shock a lot. This feels like an easy include in the deck. Electromagnetic Somersault is also very, very powerful. Being able to block with 2 cards and then get Somersault back, or Somersault the attacks back into your hand, is really good. Or being able to go Entwine Lightning fuse with a Somersault and know that you can just get it back. Somersault helps us block really efficiently, and it also helps us extend our turns when we're playing offense. So this feels like an easy 2 of to me. Discharge is great for a lot of reasons. It gives Flittering Charge Go Again. If you have an embodiment or snaps available, you can do really dumb things with Gone in a Flash with Electrostatic Discharge. I think this fits super well into the deck, and I don't know why we wouldn't be playing it. E-Strike is a card that, honestly, I've heard more people go back and forth on than I would have thought. I think E-Strike is an easy auto include in the deck. I've had a few people reach out to me privately and say that they don't really like E-Strike, that they think that it's kind of meh, and having to use it as Go Again is not great. I love the flexibility of this card. It helps you tuck reds into your deck so that you can have some for later if you need to. In Blitz, that's not going to be as much of a priority. We're probably just going to be looking to use this with draw a card and Go Again so that we can extend our turns and really keep our turn going here. E-Strike is a great card to have. Entwine Lightning, I love this card. This is my favorite card in the deck that is just so basic. It's a 0 for 4 with basically always having Go Again, but I love this card. I think this card's great. I don't know why we wouldn't have it. It's a 0 for 4, and I absolutely love the art on it. It looks so good in foil. Flittering Charge is a great card. You have, let's see, I was going to say 12, but you have 8 instants in the deck that give this Go Again because we're only playing 2 ofs in Blitz. Channel Lightning Valley, Lightning Press, Discharge, and Somersault all work really well with Flittering Charge. So this card being, again, a 0 for 4 just means it's going to work because we want to be running our opponents over as quickly as possible. Gone in a Flash is a great card. With snaps in such a shorter game, like the faster format, I think that you can honestly, if you have Gone in a Flash and you have snaps available, but you don't have an embodiment, and you have a discharge, I would probably just use this for the nonsense that you can do with Gone in a Flash and discharge. It's really, really powerful, and I like it a lot. I'm a little bit more, reserved when it comes to like using snaps on this card in CC, but I think in Blitz, just let it fly. Throw it out there and hit them as hard and as fast as you can. Lightning Press helps us push on-hit effects. We're still playing cards like Snatch and Static Shock, so I really like being able to push over the top. If we lead on a Burn Up and Shock, we can use Lightning Press to help us get there, to make sure that we are coming over the top, so that we can like push those on-hit effects and really get a lot of damage through. Lightning Surge is a great card to Arsenal. I love having this card. Like if you ever go E-Strike and draw into this, it's just like chef's kiss. It's beautiful. So Lightning Surge, again, like it's just another lightning card. With how fast the format is, there could be an argument that this is supposed to be Ravenous Rabble, but I think that the lightning starter from Arsenal is just super powerful. So if you ever have this on turn 0, you can just slam this in your arsenal and pass the turn and just wait for next turn to go off. Second Strike. This was originally the Ravenous Rabble spot, but I think that how fast the format is going to be, that we want a lightning 0-for-4 card. I like Second Strike a lot. It does have some matchups, like against the fatiguey matchups, where this will struggle a little bit, namely being Terra. But I do think that Second Strike is really good, and it being a lightning 0-for-4 is really, really powerful, and I like having this card in the deck. I think it's just an easy 0-for-4 with Go Again here. Skyzyk is a new card. You'll notice that I am playing Skyzyk and the Skyward Serenade because I think that both of these cards are really good. In CC, I think that you can sideboard them in situationally depending on what you're playing against. But this format is so fast and the game is over in 3 to 4 turns most games that having the Serenade and Skyzyk package feels like an auto include. I don't know why you wouldn't have them in the deck. It feels absolutely great. I love having Skyzyk in here, and being able to tutor it up off Serenade is absolutely insane. Snatch, just the best generic 0-for-4 that we probably have access to. I like this card a lot. Snatch is Snatch. I don't think this card needs an explanation. It draws a card. It's insane. We're playing it. Static Shock is a card that I've actually heard people have a lot of grief about as well. It's a 0-for-4 that blocks 3, and it does have the lightning flow ability of dealing an extra arcane damage, which is really cool. But Static Shock does not have Go Again, and when you're talking about, the consistency of Aurora, you really want to make sure that you're able to generate Go Again as often as possible. So Static Shock being a, not having Go Again, even on a conditional effect, can be a little tough at times, but Static Shock is just a great card. I don't know why we wouldn't play it. Arc Lightning, Specialization, Split Arcane Damage, card's bonkers. No reason not to play this. If you're arguing with me in the comment section about playing this, I would be absolutely baffled, to be honest with you. Arc Lightning is an amazing card. Like, this is an auto 2 of in the deck. It's just great. Channel Lightning Valley, again, absolutely insane. This card, it draws this card. It's Plunder Run at instant speed. It's crazy. Like, this card's wild. I don't know why you wouldn't be playing it. Absolutely love this card. If you are in a situation where you're playing against another aggro deck and you go second, you can put this into play on turn 0, which means you have Plunder Run in play going into your next turn, which is absolutely bonkers. Channel Lightning Valley, amazing card. Skyward Serenade, again, pairs really well with our Skyzyk. I do like this card. If you have no Skyzyks in your deck, you also have the option of, being able to like make an embodiment and give something +1. You're kind of turning it into a pretty crappy yellow, to be honest, but I still think it has some potential here, and some things that you can do with it, even if Skyzyks are gone. Most of the time, it's probably blocking 2 or you're pitching resources, but I do really like, I think you have to be playing Skyward Serenade if you're playing Skyzyk. It just works too well. To have the tutor effect is very, very powerful, and it works really well. We're on Current Funnel. It's a blue 3 block. It works with Somersault. This card's insane. Heaven's Claws, blue 3 block, works with Somersault. Like, I don't know why you would not be playing these 2 blues. I know some people are on Blinks, and I know some people are on some stuff, but the blue 3 blocks, in a 4-turn game can really come in handy if you don't need the extra resources for anything, and maybe you block with 2 cards that block 3, and then you somersault them back to your hand. So I really like having them in the deck for that reason. Taking a look at our sideboard, we have Sigil of Suffering. I'm playing a 38 card main deck because I think that the sideboard is set up in a way to where you can just sideboard in 2 cards and kind of go crazy. Playing against other aggro decks, Sigil of Suffering feels really good. If people are playing Arcane Barrier into you, they're pitching cards to try and slow your turn down, which is a win for us. If they're not playing Arcane Barrier, it's because they're trying to race us. And if you ever draw into Channel Lightning Valley and Sigil of Suffering against an opponent who does not have Arcane Barrier, it's going to be absolutely insane. So Sigil of Suffering is a great defense reaction. I really like having it on the side, and it really helps us in those other aggro matchups that we're looking for. Flicker Wisp is our combo card potential that we're looking for here. I like the idea of having Flicker Wisp in the deck because you can go Arc Lightning, Flicker Wisp, fuse with a Serenade, then play Serenade to get the arcane damage to make an embodiment search for a Skyzyk and then throw Skyzyk. So you're actually getting 2 more value out of the Serenade and the whole Arc Lightning turn with that combo as if you didn't have it. Plus, I think we're probably going to need Flicker Wisp to be able to get through Terra when it's all said and done with. Crown of Seeds is back in the format, and so I think having this combo potential against those heavy fatigue decks like Yoji, Teklo-Vossen even maybe, I don't know, I doubt it, but maybe, and Terra, I think this card just works so well, and it kind of rounds out our sideboard here for what we're looking for. So 2 copies of Flicker Wisp for those fatigue matchups could come in very easily in my opinion. This is probably a tainted sideboard card, to be honest, but there are 2 prisms that you can play in Blitz, and I don't know, like Ninth Blade is just absolutely insane. It doesn't get reprimanded. It's a yellow if we need it for resources to pitch to Aurora for anything, or swing the Starfall if we're ahead. I really like this card a lot. I think it works really well and does the whole thing. Are you ever playing this card? No, absolutely not. But it is a popper for Prism if they're playing Young Prism into you. I really like having this because you can pop a Herald and then you can kind of just like, set up and keep going and playing your turn. Basically gives you 4 copies of poppers between Lightning Press and Ninth Blade. So I think this fits really well in the sideboard for the Prism matchup. And maybe if you just need some extra resources, you want to play this, but Flicker Wisp probably just fits that slot better for resources. Crown of Providence, I think that this will be good against the Guardian decks. A lot of the Guardian decks, even in Blitz, are still playing CNC Pummel. So having Crown of Providence will really, I think, help you out a lot, bail you out in certain situations. So having this in the deck feels like an easy include here, just as something to bring in whenever you don't think you're going to get value off of the Balance of Justice. Lightning Greaves is mostly for Arcane Barrier. You can use it if you need to be able to get action points back and stuff like that, but mostly this is for AB1 into like other Rune Blades when you need to be able to pitch some cards to be able to block Rune Chance. Shock Charmers is mostly in here for any of the wizards here. I think that this is really good against Acilio and Blitz. I think it's pretty solid, probably against Verdance as well. I know that Kano and Icelander are gone, but having the Shock Charmers in the sideboard against other wizards is still very good. Acilio likes to throw the Comet Storm and Shock and like those bigger things, and Verdance really likes to amp and do some nonsense stuff. So I think that having AB3 and Shock Charmers in this format is still very solid. Plus, a lot of those decks are looking to draw cards, and if they're looking to draw cards, then you can use the Balance of Justice to be able to block something and then crack it to get some value out of it. So you have a lot of really good play here, and I think that having Shock Charmers is a good safe play for a sideboard option. Guys, if there's anything you think I missed in the deck, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. I don't play Blitz as much as I do other formats, but I made this with you all in mind because I know there's a lot of Blitz lovers out there, and I'm hoping you guys can take this to a skirmish and take one down. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.